We're here today to talk about how to save and enrich your 7 key relationships.
I'm Vicki Jenkins, a speech-language pathologist.
And I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins, a child and family psychologist. We have identified the 7 key relationships. Do you know what they are? You will by the end of this video, and what order they need to come in. The first of these key relationships is the relationship that you have with your Creator. Now, we're not here as your spiritual guides, but we acknowledge that for people to understand their purpose, they need to come to terms with their source, where they come from. And that's different for different people.
Getting in touch with that purpose and the moral compass that comes from it kind of directs how you interact and relate to all of the other people and relationships in your world.
In fact, we put these in order of priority because I think as you take care of the top relationships, the bottom relationships are much easier to manage. And I think you'll see that as we get through the rest of the list. Whether this Creator relationship is about your understanding of God or the universe or whatever your higher power is, that is the first of these key relationships.
That second key relationship is the relationship you have with yourself, which to a lot of people kind of think, what are we talking about? But the way that you see yourself, the way you interact, the way you talk to yourself, the way you think about yourself, and the kind of the power you give yourself in all situations to have your own back sets you up in a way that you can deal honestly and a lot more authentically with people.
Most people don't even see this as a relationship or think of it in that way. And they go out and they're so kind and compassionate to everyone except for one. Right here at home, where they're very harsh and judgmental. And we all tend to do this. So acknowledge and notice that relationship with yourself is your second key relationship. And Vicki, I hope you're okay with this, but you're number 3 for me.
No, and you're number 3 for me.
Yes. Your third key relationship is your spouse or your partner, your significant other. Your relationship with your spouse, your partner, your significant other is actually intended to be the permanent relationship in a family.
You can kind of see why getting a decent relationship, a clear understanding of the relationship with yourself helps you in your relationship with your spouse. Because I've talked to so many people where they're having problems within their relationship, their marital relationship. And a lot of the times it stems back to the way that they see themselves. Maybe they don't trust themselves. Maybe they're waiting for somebody else to make them happy rather than being okay with who they are and making themselves happy, having their own back. If you're constantly waiting for somebody else to take care of you and make you happy and have your back, it puts a lot of pressure on that other person. So getting that relationship with yourself and then working into it with a spouse, it makes it so much easier to work through the relationship and to deal with issues that come up and to enjoy each other.
Having a good marriage is not magic. And it's not luck. It's based on principles. In fact, we have a quick gift for you right now. We're not going to get into all of the principles around building a strong marriage in this video, but we've got a list of 9 that are guaranteed to save and enrich that particular key relationship. The way you can get this list, just go to the URL that's on the screen right now, drpauljenkins.com/9 principles will give you all 9, and I guarantee they're going to help.
The fourth relationship we're going to talk about is the relationship you have with your children.
And we're still in the family category,
This is
obviously.
a family relationship.
I've heard a lot of people express before, especially in a second marriage or a blended family, I really, really love my spouse, but my children come first.
It's recognizing how important your role is in that relationship. I guess we're just saying open your eyes and realize that we need to prioritize all our relationships. That doesn't mean that it doesn't give time is exactly the same as the priority all the time. But we do want to remind you that the children come in fourth on the hierarchy.
Which doesn't mean they're not important. They made the list.
Are.
Coming in right under the children, also important, okay, because they made the list as well, is extended family. Extended family is coming in position number 5 here on our key relationships. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters, your parents, actually, uncles and aunts, your extended family, they're all important to you. They're not as important as your children are to you, but they're still important. And so that's why we bring them in at level 5.
Our 6th key relationship is that which we have with other people.
Like outside of our family.
Right.
Which is important to notice that there's a difference here in how we interact with our family versus other people outside of our family. In fact, I teach this in sales training. This is where economics kicks in.
Right.
Notice that when you exchange experiences of value with everybody higher on the list that we've talked about, your spouse, your children, your extended family, there's no economic exchange. Nobody pays anyone else for showing up to dinner. But when we get to this level, when we create value for people outside of our family, it introduces the possibility of economics.
Right. And so that can be coworkers, but it can also be your neighbors. And that's not that there's necessarily money exchanging, but it's a very different exchange than it is with your family.
Right. So this includes people in your neighborhood, people in your synagogue or your church or congregation.
People at the grocery store.
Or at the school or in your community.
Yeah.
Starving children in Africa. They all make the list. And they're all important, but they're not as important to you as your family is. So you can see why we put it in order. The last key relationship that we're going to put out there is your relationship with things.
Now that might surprise people a little bit because it's not even a person, right?
Right. But you do have a relationship with things. We call it stewardship.
Right.
This includes money and property. And have you noticed that some people get the whole list upside down and they make money or property the most important thing in their life with God and family somewhere at the bottom of their list? My personal experience with this and professional experience is you can't really create a joyful experience if you get these out of order.
You know, our happiness and really our experience in this life, our joy, is very closely tied with the relationship we have with these different 7 key relationships.
And all of them are governed by principle. We shared with you earlier that there are 9 principles that are guaranteed to save your marriage. These 9 principles can actually be applied at any level of these 7 key relationships when you really get into it. Make sure you get your copy of these, drpauljenkins.com/9 principles, the number 9, the word principles. We'll put that right in your inbox.